Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Hangar Talk. Mathai here. Some of you know me as Roadrunner, but anyway, today we are going to be having a look at entry-level ultra micros. Hey y'all. Anyway, we're gonna look at some ultra micro aircraft today. All these are available at horizonhobby.com, at least at the time of this video they are. So I'll just jump right in. What do you say? So, get a good shot of the desk here. Okay, so first up, one of my personal favorites, Parkzone's Night Vapor. This, by far, is one of the best aircraft that I've ever flown. It's one of my personal favorites. In fact, here at NPR, this is one of our main trainer aircraft. This is our main entry-level flight school at Vaporlight. So definitely very, very easily flown plane. A little fragile with the prop shaft and prop up here. If you crash, like if you were to spike this airplane, I've done it before. Usually you can get away with about 10 of those, and you got to replace something up here. And if you break your prop shaft, you're going to probably need to put a new prop on, unless you happen to break it off the gear. The other delicate area is the tail. Don't worry about it unless you're trying loops. That's the only way you're going to break the tail off. Or if you somehow stupidly manage to stall your plane, which with this one, almost impossible, at least in my experience. Actually fly this one in my living room. My advice, go out in your yard on a calm evening. Let that be your first couple flights. Once you're used to it, go nuts. It is a very, very easy plane to fly indoors. Okay. Next one. The old standby Hobbyzone Champ. A couple of you guys, if you've watched some of the other videos on our channel, previous episodes of Hangar Talk, you would recognize this one as Baby. She is another one of our training aircraft here at NPR, and actually this is my personal aircraft too, but she's so tough. We use her a lot to train pilots after they've flown the Vapor. So not really, I have nothing bad to say about this airplane. She's getting old. Probably gonna need to put a new motor in her at some point, but this is 3+ years of damage on here, and she's actually manually here. We've gone through 2 wings, one out of my stupidity, and actually one from my brother, who took this out flying without permission, smacked into a tree and sheared a wing off. How you managed to do that, I'm not really sure, but anyway. And then tails, just you put a new tail on every year, and it's like $8. It's worth it. Flight performance is so much better, but other than that, this is another great entry-level plane. And if I haven't mentioned already, all of the Horizon Hobby aircraft come with one of these, which this is a DC quick charger for the 1S LiPo batteries. These are pretty standard throughout Horizon's ultra micro line. This is a 150 milliamp hour, 3.7 volt, so that's just pretty standard. And I can tell you, once you start getting into the micros, especially if you get one of these as a first aircraft, buy yourself 4 or 5 batteries. Even in our gearbox up here, I carry at least 6 batteries with me, if not more. Usually it's more like 8 if... Sorry, I don't think you get a shot of that gearbox. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. So I got my batteries up here. These are my 150s. These are my 70s over here for the Vapor. yeah, just everything that I have to say about the Champ is actually pretty good. Now, moving on to the last plane we're going to talk about today, and this is one that some people say it's great, excellent first plane. Personally, I don't think so. This is what I call an expendable. So, by that I mean, this is an aircraft that is kind of a one and done deal, as far as what you can do with it, its handling characteristics, that kind of stuff. This is my personal Duet, who actually is not really mine anymore. My girlfriend flies this one as a trainer. I'm gonna get her flying probably a Sport Cub pretty soon. But anyway, $60. If you're new to the hobby, this is not a bad way to get into it. You'll get a feel kind of for what it's like to fly a 3-channel aircraft. This is a lazy airplane. It really is. I personally, I think it's underpowered, but I'm used to big, beefy electrics like the Super Cub S, which I will be doing a review on probably later this year. I've flown the Apprentice 15E, which is another great plane. It's $230 though, so that's more money. This is $60, and to be honest, it's not bad. A couple flying buddies of mine, they started off with a Duet, and they've said it's pretty good. One guy's gone through 2 of them because his dad broke the tail off it when they were out flying together. But anyway, it's a tough little airplane. One nice thing about it though is if you hit the ground, you're not breaking any props. That prop ain't gonna hit the ground. The only delicate section on this aircraft really is gonna be this tail fin, and tail section is replaced for $7 is what I put that new tail on. I am kind of upset that they don't come with decals, but you get the advantage to get a little creative with a Sharpie. You can do stuff like that, which is kind of cool. Let's do a little personal touch to it. Not a crazy fan of the radio on this one. It's the Duet radio. Number one, charger's built right into it, which drains your radio battery, which just causes, you have a chance for radio issues when you're flying. And it's only a 3-channel. It's not DSM-2 compatible, so you can't use this with anything but the Duet, which is kind of another gripe I have about it. It's the radio for the Champ, the Vapor, and really any other RTF micro except for the Sport Cub S, which you get a radio similar to this, but you got switches back here for safe technology, and then you got a panic switch over here. But really, for $60, the Duet isn't really a bad option. If you want to spend $30 more, get yourself a Champ. That's how I learned to fly. I started with the Super Cub. That was too big. So I took 2 years off, and then I got myself a Champ, and then over the next year, taught myself to fly, and then I jumped right into a 4-channel Spitfire, which got a little interesting at first, but I actually have become a very, very good pilot in the 6 years since I began flying. So really, you can't go wrong with ultra micros, I don't think. But you know what? Enough talking. Let's have a look at my favorite aircraft, okay? So we're gonna come out here into my living room, and I'm trying to do this with a tripod, so it's gonna be a little sloppy. But anyway, let's come out here, and we're gonna get a shot of this. Is looking out into our hangar. This is a room. It's about 40 feet long, and I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna grab the Vapor, lock the door open, and we are gonna have some fun today. So here's my vapor, and I'll plug it up. Radio's already on. Okay, so we're bound up. I'm actually off camera here, so there we go. We're gonna do a quick control check. Rudder, elevator, everything's good. Cross balanced. Okay, so we're gonna set up and we are gonna take off right from the kitchen table, and you guys get to see what this thing can do. I'm gonna bring the light down just a little bit. That's a little bit better shot. So here we go. So this is why I love teaching people on a vapor, because this is an airplane that you can fly in your house. Now, I'm flying with a big 25C battery on here, so I got a little bit more power than I need. Actually, I was outside flying before I filmed this episode, so trying to run this battery out so that you'll get a full charge on it when I put it back on the charger. But anyway, yeah, this sucker's got a lot of punch. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I am going to fly just a lap of the living room, and you guys will kind of get to see it when I make a pass by the camera. So here we go. So this is what we teach here at Vaporlight, is eventually people learn to fly in this living room. This airplane, or usually people will go out and buy a vapor if they're gonna learn to fly with us, because this is what we recommend, and then land it right there on the table, and that's all there is to it if you're gonna get a plane like this. And for $100 bind and fly, and I think it's like 120 RTF, this is not a bad plane at all. And you guys have seen how some of the other aircraft stack up, but there's one thing about this airplane that nobody can beat. I don't care what plane you have. This thing has one major advantage to it. This is why I teach everybody to fly on this. Check this out. Here's the wing. How many other planes do you know can have their wing bent in a donut and pop right back into a normal shape? Same with the landing gear. These be bent all over the place, no problem. The body's a little bit more rigid, but it's still, look at that, I mean, it's still pretty dang flexible. Control surfaces, very, very bendy. I mean, you cannot really break this plane unless you smack it hard into the ground. That's the only thing that will really break something on this plane. Yeah, this is by far, if you're a beginner, you're new, and especially if you don't have a ton of space, guys, this is the way to go. Go get yourself a night vapor. That's all I can tell you. If you guys have any comments or questions, you can either just post them below, or if you have more of a detailed question, or you want to have, or you have like private video request, something like that, you can feel free to email me at northprairieradiocontrol@gmail.com. So yeah, so I'll leave that in the description as well. Until then, I will see you guys on the next episode of Hangar Talk. Go out, fly your best, don't be discouraged, have fun. Thanks for watching, y'all. Roadrunner out.